Is he ready to get back in the ring?
Absolutely.
There were claims that Garcia broke his jaw after the fight. A lot of people talking about that online. That you tried to hide it. He tried to hide it. He went hiding for a little bit.
One thing about him, whatever happened, he's not no quitter like Ryan quit against Tank Davis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's known as a quitter. You know what I mean? Devin's a warrior, whether they want to say anything or not. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, you know what I mean, put in that kind of adversity, you got to ask the people on Twitter, what did you do? You know what I mean? What did you do when you were when you suffered, when you went through adversity? You know what I mean? So I think that instead of Devin representing that, they're trying to shift the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. With a lot of the trolls and the bots and all this shit, which, for the record, because coming from a music background, right? What Drake is saying is true. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? The companies roll out their marketing plan is to assassinate and kill the rival, the character. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's within your own company, like 50 had said, they were pushing G-Unit and they also were pushing G-Unit under the same umbrella. You know what I'm saying?
Both houses benefit.
Right. Mm-hmm. So what you have right now in boxing, you have that same thing, right? And just like he said, is you know, Devin, you know, he had been, everyone knows about Devin since he'd been a kid, from Real Devin Haney TV, right? And so, you know, they wanted to dethrone him and they thought they were going to knock us off with that campaign because they've been running a smear campaign, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a wild world, man. Like it really is. Like you know, I know a lot of people don't like the general consensus is again, it's 50-50, but there also are a lot of trolls and bots and they are controlling the internet. And crazy. You can see it. Like if you're early at a post and you see a post come up, it'll say 783 comments and the post was up for 14 seconds. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it says it. You know something's going on. You could see it happening. I see it in the podcast industry. Mm-hmm. I've seen it in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. And one thing is people always want to be first.
Yes.
And they always want to be like, they want their comment to be seen and be liked by all the people because now the commenters, that is their boxing ring. Mm-hmm. Right? Like they want to have the best comment out there. Like, look at my comment and look at what I believe. And even if they don't believe it any longer, they'll stick to it. You know how like you get in an argument with wifey mm-hmm. and no matter how right you know you are, she'll still fight it to the death.
Right.
And if it's opposite, when you know you're wrong, still doing the same shit. You know what I mean? It's like mm-hmm. you're going to stick to your truth at that time, even if you know you're wrong. And that's what's going on in these online communities. Online social media has been the worst thing.
Well, I mean, it's the gift and the curse, right? It's a curse for the Charleston Whites of the world because when you go home, you're a buster. You know what I'm saying?
He's not going to let Charleston White off.
No, what I'm saying is no, because he's a real life bot, you know, a troll, right? He's a troll. Right?
He's a walking troll.
He's a walking troll, okay?
He's a troll.
But at the end of the day, I'm a real. So when I go home, you know what I'm saying? I'm respected. I'm respected. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible thing when your wife or your woman or your chick look at you as a troll. I wouldn't trade none of that for nothing in the world. You know what I'm saying? To be a real at home, right? For your kids to look at you real, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, daddy just. Nah, man, that's fraudulent. To get to the money. But you know what I mean? I've been having money since I've been a kid. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a guy like Charleston who hasn't been getting to the bag, right? He was really, when he was trying to bring attention to certain organizations, he was really trying to get a bag. Because it shows when he got a bag, he wasn't still true to what he was with the organizations that he was talking about when he didn't have a bag. He said, oh, I'm in the strip club now. I don't give a fuck about kids. I don't, you know what I mean? Right? Didn't he say that?
He said that.
Yeah, that's lame. You see what I'm saying? Real
he
niggas,
does do what I hear you.
But real do what I did. You get to that money and you give it back. And then it comes back to you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see.
Right.
I feel you. I mean, you sit here on the Danza Project not because you a troll, but because you a real.
Oh, ain't
And
no
because
doubt.
and your skills as a father. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
But speaking of trolls, I wanted to get your opinion on the Paul brothers. Because I feel like they're making a mockery of boxing. I feel like they're intentionally trying to tear down our heroes. And I feel like the whole shit that they doing, I mean, yeah, it's a play for money, but it's like a deeper play. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, boxing got that coming. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the worst businesses in the world, full of a bunch of rotten. You know what I'm saying?
Was there ever a time that you felt it, or were you always disappointed from the time that Devin started doing his thing?
Well, I was back in this play. Nobody wants their kid to grow up, their kid to be fighting, to be in this kind of sport, right? The sport found Devin. They found each other. It was like a marriage. It was like a cowboy finding his first horse and he riding it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Getting his first pistol or something like that. You know what I mean? You know, that they were made to be together, you know? And I just backed his play. And through backing his play, I would have went wherever with him. But I'm not in football, right? But I know that within that and the owners and all that, you have certain athletes that aren't able to talk about it and be vocal about the racism and all the things that's the bad business of football or basketball or any of the other sports.
Right.
You know what I mean? Business is business. And with boxing, it's such a fucking business that I give anyone and everyone their props for navigating in it. You know what I'm saying? And for the Paul brothers to see it, I think one of them is doing wrestling now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I can't hate on them checking that bag. You know what I mean? At all.
That's one argument, is the bringing eyes and bringing spectators and bringing money to the sport. But for the classics, for the OGs, the ones who love the actual art of the sport, that's kind of what you said.
Yeah, I feel like he's doing
like
the shirt.
you over here
We
doing
see the shirt right there. We see you can move the mic over a little bit. We can move the mic over so we can see Mike. You know what I mean?
But
It was painful.
So